Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of the Monsters Den, along in the co-captain's chairs with Rich Catino and Chris Alo. Welcome, my friends. How are you today?
All right, what's up, guys?
Hey, Rich. How you guys
How's
doing?
everybody doing? Yeah.
All right, hanging in there. We're as we get ready for the big Godzilla versus Kong film that's going to be debuting on HBO Max. Just a couple days.
Next week. Got my tickets already with a couple buddies.
31st, right?
Yeah, 31st.
So that's what is that next Wednesday?
Yeah. So
All right.
6 days from now.
Interesting how they're debuting that on a weeknight like that, and not like
it's a
Friday night
weird
or something.
Right?
Yeah. It's a weird
I think
day.
originally wasn't it supposed to be tomorrow originally, but they held it back because of Justice League just coming out.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's understandable. So last week we ranked the Showa series, which is the first series, right up in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So today we're going to rank the Heisei and the Millenium, and what else?
There's
One
a name
Shin.
for them. I don't remember what the fuck they're called, but
Ray
there's a
Wash.
name for the new 3 ones. I don't know what it's called though.
Yeah, whatever they're called.
Whatever the fuck those things are called.
Legendary.
All the new
Legendary.
Yeah.
all the new stuff. So we got a lot of films to get through. So we're going to kickstart things. We're going to have Chris go first, then Rich, then myself, and we'll kind of keep going around and around as we get through these films here. So
All right, and we're starting worst to best, right?
yes.
Bottom of
All
the
right.
pile.
I'm pulling Dan from the Warehouse. I only saw this once in the theater in 2016. I never viewed it again because I fucking hated it. I was so disappointed. Like seriously, I fucking hated this movie, Shin Godzilla. I know some people love it. I think I put it on my worst because I was so disappointed, because I'm like, all right, the Japanese are doing it. I think it's going to be good. And then I see Godzilla and he's a giant CGI animated fucking tadpole with googly-eyed cookie monster fucking eyes. I couldn't believe it. Then he turns into some other fucking thing. He's like all chubby, but he shoots laser beams out of his tail and lightning bolts out of his fins. And he's just stupid looking. And the whole fucking movie is Japanese men in black business suits arguing over what to do about Godzilla. There's one female character and she was gorgeous. She was running for president. That's all I remember about the movie. I hated it. And so I fucking hate Shin Godzilla. I think it's the worst piece of garbage. And I hate some of these other ones too. But listen, in all honesty, I saw it once. I was really disappointed. Maybe if I see it again, my opinion could completely change.
I don't think so.
But I went with my buddy Marcos and he loved it. And I was like, did we watch different movies?
I'm looking at the monster screen time right now. 17 minutes for Godzilla and a 120-minute movie.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Wow.
That is a shame. That is a ripoff for fans.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I remember it differently, but do you guys? That's all I remember is guys in business suits arguing.
Whole lot of talking. Just
A whole lot of talking.
Blah blah blah.
That's it. That's what I remember. How do we do it? How do we do it? What do we do? Blah blah blah. Can't use a nuclear bomb. I don't know what to do. What do we do?
Yeah.
So I hated it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't own it, because I saw it in the theater and I'm like, I'm not buying that fucking thing.
See, I didn't see it in the theater. I was so excited for the new Godzilla movie done in Japan. I was like, so I bought the Blu-ray, and then I was like, okay.
If I remember
we'll get to my
right,
opinion of it, but Rich,
if I remember right, it was like a real limited release.
yes,
Because I remember me and Marcos went opening night to the Alamo Draft House, and lots of people loved it, including my buddy Marcos, who I love, but I fucking hated it. I was like, oh God.
you know what it is? Did they? You have to wonder, did people really love it, or were they just so starved for another Japanese Godzilla film that they were going to like anything?
Right, and that could be.
Yeah.
And you guys know the bulk of the Japanese monster, the Godzilla, they're really good. Even the worst one, even Godzilla's Revenge, is watchable, other than like the last 10 minutes. But to me, this Shin Godzilla, I want to rip my head off. I was like, oh my God, this is so bad.
Yeah.
All right, Rich, what do you got on that?
It's not at the bottom of the pile for me, but it's damn close. But I'm going to start my pile with Final Wars, which was another shit show.
Yes, 100%.
What a hot mess this is. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's like 15 or 16 monsters that are listed that make an appearance. Right. But I'm looking at their screen time, 5 seconds, 45 seconds, 30 seconds. Rodan's
Why
on
put
for
him in the
one.
movie, right?
Why
Why?
bother? Rodan's in there for 1 minute, and Guira's in there for 2 minutes. Godzilla's got the most with 15 minutes.
Wow.
And then you got that Monster X, the thing with the 3 pairs of eyes, the red eyes.
Right.
That
Now,
turn
to me,
into
Monster X is a total ripoff of the Alien from the Alien movies,
Yeah,
who then turns
then
into Ghidra.
it's Ghidra. They call Kaiser Ghidra,
Right.
which is a horrible suit for Ghidra. I
Yeah.
think it's my least favorite out of all of
It's like Rainbow
But-
Bright Ghidra.
them. Yeah, it's bad. The fights go by like that. They're not even fights. It's
Right.
like the monster shows up, Godzilla shows up, Godzilla grabs him, throws him into a building or something, and it's done.
And that movie is 2 hours and 5 minutes. It's really long.
Yeah.
And like you said, Rich, the fight scenes are over in seconds.
seconds. And when Godzilla's got the longest screen time, 15 minutes,
Yeah.
then everybody else is scattered throughout seconds long or a minute or two. That's unacceptable.
Yep.
Just unacceptable. And even my boy, Varen, makes a stock footage cameo of 5 seconds. It's like
Wow.
they couldn't even give him enough respect to get out of the black and white age
Yeah.
in Destroy All Monsters and get longer than seconds. But then they had to put him in this too and give him insult to injury and have him only on for 5 seconds again. Why bother? Just, yeah, that was bad.
Rich, I give you a lot of credit for rewatching that and timing all of the appearances. That's pretty.
No, they're actually, I'm looking at, I found this page that's got them all listed. It's really good.
Oh, really? So someone did that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And it sounds about right because these, like I said, these seconds, the 30, 45, 5 seconds, whatever, 1 minute, it goes by like that.
And do you guys remember when they released that movie, there was all this talk about how it's going to be it's the Godzilla film you always wanted to see,
Yep.
all the monsters, whatever. And then we all watched it. We're kind of like,
This is
Yeah.
garbage.
What?
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah. Even Manda, when they put Manda in it, Manda doesn't even fight another monster. He fights another submarine. The hell?
Yeah.
It's like Atragon. You're just gonna put him up against another submarine again?
exactly, right?
Awful.
Yeah. Total misfire there. That should have been the greatest Godzilla film of all time.
Absolutely.
No.
It could have been what Destroy All Monsters should have been.
Yes. Yeah. So my bottom of the barrel one here is Shin Godzilla. He looks awful in this.
Oh, so bad.
Awful.
I mean, he's got that tiny little head and the thigh. He's got like thunder thighs in
Oh,
this.
thunder thighs. The
Like,
little
Hands
little
just,
tiny
yeah. They're
T-Rex
just
hands.
stuck like that. Yeah, he just doesn't, that's it.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the Cookie Monster eyes. When he's the tadpole Godzilla, he's got the googly Cookie Monster
Yeah.
eyes. I remember like laughing in the theater, being like, "This has got to be a joke." Ugh, hate that design.
Mm.
Terrible.
it's just awful. The acting is atrocious. The movie's just an absolute bore.
Yeah.
And,
So
like I said, I was so happy when this came out. I was like, great. And I didn't get to see it in the theaters. I bought this Blu-ray. I was like, yes. And I remember sitting like halfway through it, and I'm like, God, this is not very good. I hope they were. And again, why another freaking reboot? I'm like, how many times are they going to do that already?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And it's just like, so yeah, I mean, I wanted this to be great, and it's anything but great. It's the complete opposite. So yeah, that's the bottom of the barrel for me.
Nice. All right, my second. Again, I saw this in the theater, and I know you like it, Pete. I don't know if Rich likes it, but I fucking hated it. Was Godzilla King of the Monsters from 2019. I know a lot of people say the monster fights are good.
yeah,
I don't even remember the monster fights. Maybe I need to watch it again.
I thought you were going to
Just
say
for the monster fights?
I thought you were going to say 2014, but I thought King of the Monsters was okay.
Because I just hated it. I mean, it was so Hollywood ludicrous that I couldn't wrap. I just completely pulled me out of the movie. I mean, listen, all of these movies are ludicrous, especially the ones from the 60s, but they have a certain charm. But when you're making a movie for like $300 million and you've got I mean, it was just so crazy. Like, the way to save Godzilla was to put an 80-year-old Asian man in a one-man submarine to fly through an underground volcano to detonate a bomb next to Godzilla's ear to wake him up. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then, like, the parents of some kid searched through the rubble of a football stadium and just so happen to drive their car. There's neatly enough room so they can drive their car and find the kid. I mean, it was just as dumb as everything in the Matthew Broderick 1998 Godzilla movie. And it's everything that's wrong with Hollywood because they have the money with the CGI to do anything. So instead of creating good stories, they create the most ludicrous shit because they think it'll look good on the screen. So that's my.
Yeah, I that's, you know what? I'm torn about that film, and I'll talk about it a bit when we get to mine.
But I think I should see it again. See if I still hate it.
Yeah, because you know what? I think the monster scenes, and there's a lot of them, are actually well done. But man,
so do I.
I could give two shits about the human characters, and I can't stand them, to be honest with you. They're awful.
I wanted them all to die. The kids, the parents, all of them.
And you know, and come on, there's got to be some originality out here. So they basically take Dr. Serizawa, who is the main, the character who gives himself up to kill Godzilla in the very, very first film.
Right, with the oxygen destroyer.
And now they basically do the same thing with him to send him down there to blow that thing up, so to wake Godzilla up. So it's like in the original, he uses himself to kill Godzilla. Now he gives himself up to wake up Godzilla. I mean, come on, who's writing the script, right?
True, very true.
Well, they've got a week to redeem themselves, I think. So, but I thought the monster scenes were great in it. But
I should watch it again just for that.
Yeah, they're enjoyable. I think so.
Yeah. All right, Rich, what do you got?
I'm going to Shin next. All the same points you guys said. The only thing I will say about this movie was I thought the cinematography was really nice. All the city shots, the cityscape shots. And I do like Godzilla changing form, even though it's pretty horrendous. I do like the way you see the evolution of its body until the final form. I thought that was cool and that was different. And that looked pretty cool too. So I'll give it that's what it's got going for it. But the final form of it itself and the way each form changes, I didn't like really the design, but I like the concept of doing that. Like I said, combined with the cinematography, I found that part of it enjoyable. But other than that, I don't like it. So it gets a couple plus, positive points for those couple things.
If I remember correctly, I don't like his roar much in that film.
No, the mouth, he opens up his mouth really, really big too. Like Chris said, the laser beams coming out of the back, out of the spines, comes out of his tail. It's ridiculous. Like how
does he shoot beams from his eyes too? Or did I just make that part up?
Might as well. I mean, you got
sure, look at that.
It's coming out of everything else. You might as well.
Why not let him launch his fist like the Shogun Warriors Godzilla toy?
Yeah.
Do that too.
Exactly. Yeah, that really irked me too. The laser beams out of the back and the tail. And then the fire that turns into a laser beam on top of it.
Oh, see, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, he breathed the atomic fire, but then it turns into a beam as well. I mean, he's so overpowered.
Right.
He should have leveled Tokyo in 5 seconds with all that going on,
Crazy.
Yeah, it was too ridiculous, I thought.
All right, my next choice near the bottom here is from 1994. This should have been a really great film. It's not. Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. This is this one right here. Cool monster. I think Space Godzilla is very cool looking. He's got like this kind of stalactites coming from him and whatnot.
Yeah,
you got a pretty crappy looking baby Godzilla here. If baby Godzilla Minya from the original series wasn't bad enough, here you got another he's kind of cute looking, but he's kind of goofy looking, whatever. This film is like, you talk about long Godzilla films. This one is like an hour longer than it needs to be. I mean, wasn't this one like 2.5 hours plus? And it's just like, it just never ends. It's way too boring. And considering we got this really cool villain creature in it, there's not enough fights in it. Not enough.
It's actually 106 minutes long.
So it
feels longer.
It feels way longer.
It feels longer.
It's a tad short of 2 hours. But Godzilla's on for 19 minutes. And Space Godzilla's on for 13 minutes.
Ooh, 13. Could have been longer.
Yeah.
But this is one of those films. I guess the rest of it is just so bad that you feel like you're not seeing enough of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the plot is just kind of bizarre. And it's like, I think I give them credit for, bringing in another monster. And again, that's to be commended. But, we saw in this time frame, we saw a little Godzilla Jr. popping up quite a bit, probably more than he needed to. But I think the Godzilla suit looks great. I think the special effects in this film are actually really, really good. And like I said, I like the costume designs, but I just find this movie pretty damn boring. Could have been a lot better. So it's ranking near the bottom of the pile for me.
100%. I totally agree, Pete. That's actually my next one up from this, because this my next one my next shitter is Godzilla Final Wars. For everything that Rich said, it's fucking terrible. The one thing that I wanted to add, one, it's like a fucking Power Rangers movie.
Yes.
And there's way too much of the humans and the Power Rangers and the mutants or whatever they do. Two is all the monsters keep doing these awful baseball slides, like they're sliding into third base back and forth.
Godzilla does that when he fights. Oh my God, when he fights King Caesar, Rodan, and Anguirus, right? When they have that whole
that four-way fight, which is over in like 2
thing
seconds.
going on that lasts a couple seconds. Yeah,
they keep sliding. And then the other thing I just wanted to mention, as a whole, the Millennium series sucks for two reasons. One is an overuse of awful CGI graphics. The Heisei series, or however the hell you pronounce it, was all practical. And with the Millennium movies, they really did a lot of CGI. It looked terrible 20 years ago. It looks unbelievably bad now. Like Rich was saying, Manda. It's not a Manda puppet. It's a terrible animated CGI Manda that gets killed by the fucking submarine. The other thing that I totally hate is the Heisei series has perfect continuity. One movie into the next, right?
Yeah.
The Millennium series keeps rebooting over and over through the whole series.
I think the only two that are connected are
the two Mechagodzillas,
and Tokyo SOS. I think they're the only two that are sequels to each other, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So all these movies, they came out one year after another, and they keep rebooting. I'm like, so there's 6 movies, and they rebooted the series 5 times. It's like, what?
Yeah, why? What's so hard about just continuing where you left off, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So this was the final one. Pete was right. This should have been the best Godzilla movie ever, and it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
All right, Rich, what do you got next?
All right, going to the legendary one from 2014, the Gareth Edwards one that he directed. Another one that Godzilla's barely in it. I hate how he's on camera, and then when you think you're going to see him do something, the camera cuts away to something else. Does it throughout the whole freaking movie. You guys notice that?
Oh, 100%. Yep.
Anytime Godzilla is revealed, whether it's the airport scene when they go up his leg and everything, and then you reveal him, or when the doors close on that, I don't know what it was. There was something that, the doors close or they open.
Yeah, it was like a garbage dumpster or something. It looked like from the outside.
Yeah, and Godzilla's there, and then he's gone. And then they cut something else. Or he's on the TV monitors fighting the Mutos. He's never on camera. He's there and he's gone. It's like as bad as Final War.
He's like Mr. Snuffleupagus.
It's a total tease fest. I was so aggravated when I was at the movies. My buddies were aggravated. We were like, what the hell is going on here? We came to see Godzilla and he's on camera for seconds long at a time, and then they cut to some other shit I don't care about. It's true. Very aggravating. Even though it was well shot, the action sequence was good and the special effects. Yeah, it's a good looking film and everything, but God, you got Godzilla as your star. Make Godzilla the star. Why are you cutting away all the time to other shit we don't want?
Yeah.
Keep the camera on the monster. Keep it on the shot. Let's appreciate it and enjoy it for what it is.
And you got those other 2 cool looking monsters, man. Let's see some monster action, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I mean, some of it they did when they were in the city and they were fighting, which was a little bit better, but they're on for the 2 Mutos are on for 7 minutes and 6 minutes total. And Godzilla's only on for 10. And the movie's 123 minutes long.
Wow. Yeah, it's a long.
What are you doing? Yep. 120 minutes long.
You know what? The same people that complained that there wasn't enough monster action in that film then complained that there was too much monster action in the next one. I don't get it.
You can never have too much.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Yeah. So I don't understand that at all.
Yep.
All right. Where are we here? All right. So I'm going to go with, where the hell is it? I'm going to go with Final Wars as my next one here, as we've already kind of talked a bit about that. Should have been, the greatest Godzilla film of all time, and it's kind of shit. So, yeah. A lot of monsters. We don't see nearly enough of them, and the plot's ridiculous. The human stuff is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous movie that should have been the greatest thing ever. Back to you, Chris.
All right. Godzilla versus Space Godzilla for everything you guys already covered. It's fucking terrible.
And I'm going to piggyback you on that because that's my next one. Space Godzilla.
Yep.
And I don't really like the design of Space Godzilla either. They could have done something a little different. It's just basically a refurbished Godzilla suit.
Yeah.
Just to cut back on money to make a new monster. I don't like that either. So, yeah, not one of my favorites.
All right. Trying to find all my stuff here. Hold on. Bear with me. There we go. So my next one is going to be, and I don't, you know what? There's things about this movie I do like, but I'm going to go with Godzilla 1984. Or otherwise known as the Return of Godzilla. So, there was a lot of excitement when this came out. I kind of, I like the darkness of this film, and I like how they tried to do like an homage to the first one. It's not quite as successful, not by a long shot, but I think he looks pretty cool in here. Did we need to see that the return of you-know-who in this? We all know who we're talking about. No, but I think they just tried, I think, too hard to make a clone of the 54 film, and I don't think it quite works. Was it cool to see Godzilla back after a while? Yes, but not a huge fan of this film, and I find the film kind of boring, but the destruction scenes are pretty good, and this returns Godzilla to being a big time badass again. So I guess you got to give it a little bit of props for that.
Is that a bootleg?
That came to theaters too. I remember seeing that.
Is that a bootleg, Pete, or a real one?
This is a real one. This is from Kraken Releasing.
Wow. Okay. See, I didn't even.
I've had it for a long time.
Okay.
That's is that the one I have? Let me see the cover of yours. Yeah, that's the one I have. Yep, it's called The Return of Godzilla.
All right, so you'll have to look for that one because
Yep,
it's the only one I didn't have on Blu-ray. I have a bootleg DVD that has both versions, the Japanese and the American. And I actually said, I go, oh, I guess I don't have it. I guess they never put it on Blu-ray, but all right, I'll have to look for that one.
And this got a nice little run here in the States in the theaters. I remember.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater. Yep.
So that's my next choice.
Oh, am I up then?
Yep.
Or is Rich up? Yeah, me?
Yep.
No, you're up.
Oh, okay. All right. So my next one, I saw this one in the theater and I was very disappointed. And I thought, oh, this is going to be great because this is going to bring the Godzilla films back to America. And there was nothing released in America for 16 years after this. And it's Godzilla 2000. It's, the Godzilla suit is good. But again, it's okay. They reboot the series and there's a terrible CGI spaceship. Then that turns into the monster Orga, which looks really good, but he's on the screen for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so big. He looks like he's like the Mike Tyson of fucking kaiju monsters. He looks like
gigantic claws, right?
Yeah, big claw. He looks like he could knock Godzilla out one punch. He's on screen for 10 minutes, and then that's
6 minutes actually.
6 minutes. There we go.
I will say Godzilla looks great in this film.
Suit looks awesome.
Yeah.
That Godzilla Millenium suit that they used for.
I don't know if everybody can see, but there's Orga right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
They use that suit for that one and Mechagodzilla and it's redesigned a little bit.
Well, I mean,
Mechagodzilla, the two Mechagodzilla movies too.
Well, here's the fucked up thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, then we're getting off track now, but Rich, you're 100% right. So they come up with this awesome suit. He's in Godzilla 2000. They use the same suit for Megaguirus, the next one. But again, Megaguirus is a reboot. Then they reboot it again for Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah. But now, besides rebooting it, it's a totally different suit. Godzilla's got no pupils. His eyes are totally white. Different suit, different everything. Then the next movie, they reboot it again, but they go back to the other suit for the next two movies.
Yeah.
Does the left hand know what the right hand is talking about?
Welcome to Toho Pictures, right?
It's like, wow, you guys are a fucking mess.
Yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but man, Godzilla had some great suits around this time period. Use the same one every movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the same creature. Why you got to make him look different every movie? It's like, what?
100%. And it's not like the movies were coming out 3 years apart, 5. They came out every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's,
Like they did that in the 90s though. Space Godzilla, Mechagodzilla 2, Mothra Batra 1.
I mean, they definitely changed the
When
suits.
he fights King Ghidorah, those
Right.
movies in the 90s, the suits are very similar.
Yeah.
Tweaked a little bit here and there. Portions are a little different, like his legs and his thighs and his hips and stuff, and the face changes slightly, but it is
But they're
very similar.
very similar. Yeah.
Yes, there's definitely consistency at that point. And
Yeah.
Biollante.
Yep. So yeah,
It's mind-boggling, right?
it is. It drives you
frustrating.
nuts.
We need to be on the
World's
writing
biggest
team. We need to be on the writing team.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. Those movies would be 65 minutes.
It's all they need to be, right?
That's it.
All monster screen time.
Yeah.
40 minutes of monsters.
I was just gonna say that. 40 minutes of monsters.
Yeah.
You can cut down on some of the budget by not hiring all these damn human
Yeah,
actors.
who needs all these
them?
people?
Who needs them?
Exactly. Right.
Oh man. All right, Rich, what do you got?
84 is mine, or 1985 in America. That's my next one. So yeah, it's okay. It's a good restart. Not one of my favorites. Kind of boring, like you said, Pete. So yeah, that's where it comes in for me. Not my favorite. I don't really go to it that often. But the city scenes and the destruction scenes are pretty cool.
That is true. Yeah, it's kind of dark. It's got that kind of apocalyptic feel, which
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm. All right, my next one is Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, however he wants to say his name here, which is just kind of like another flying creature, right? Kind of like a really evil-looking Mothra, so to speak. And then they have the little ones, and I don't know. It's okay. It's kind of hokey. I like the creature battles. The creature suits look cool. Godzilla looks great in it. But again, it's another one of those kind of like boring films in this era here that kind of works but kind of doesn't. And it kind of sits between. So this came out right after the 2001 and before the All Monsters Attack, and I think both of those work better than this one. But it's not awful. It's a lower echelon one for me.
Am I up again?
Back to Chris. Yes.
Oh Jesus, I'm sorry. I keep screwing this up. All right, my next one, Godzilla 2014. Exactly what Rich said. There's not enough, they cut away too much, but I guess I liked it better than the other Junkers. Yeah, I actually have the Blu-ray, and I guess I left it in the garage. So
a lot of talking in this one too.
A lot of talking. Yeah, it could have been a lot better. They should have cut down by 30 minutes and had an extra 10 minutes of Godzilla.
Yeah.
But the 3D was pretty good, and the acting was pretty good, and it definitely was kind of dark. So that's my pick.
Yep.
They got to stop cutting away the quick cuts. They even did that with Godzilla King of the Monsters. I hope Godzilla vs. Kong, they keep it on the fights. Keep it on let's see the monsters grappling and kicking each other's ass.
Yeah.
Stop cutting away to other shit.
Yeah, it's like in King of the Monsters, you get the two monsters squaring off or whatever, and then all of a sudden they cut to that little girl in the rubbles of Fenway Park. Who cares? I don't care if she's buried, alive, dead, whatever. Get back to the fight.
Get her a Band-Aid and a lollipop and a balloon.
All right, Rich, back to you.
All right. Going with Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Guess you can't put versus because they already did that in the 70s.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the 90s, they called it Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. So this is against Mechagodzilla from 2002. So this is only, Mothra shows up too for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Why? Why does Mothra always keep showing up? Right?
Why not?
There's all these other monsters that can return, and you keep on throwing in Mothra every other movie. Tired of it.
I think that Toho seems to think that Mothra is more popular than she actually is.
So you got to get the ladies in there, and she's the only lady monster. So she's the only one that they can, get in there.
She was never my favorite. But Mechagodzilla's on for 17 minutes. I didn't realize that long. But the suit design is cool in this.
Yeah, yeah.
Better than the one from the 90s. The one from the 90s is very round and soft looking. This is a little more, edgy and angular, like the 74 one, the 75. So the suit design is pretty cool. The fights aren't too bad. I think they're a little bit better in Tokyo SOS, the next one. A little more going on. But yeah, that's where this one comes in for me.
Yep. I'm gonna go Godzilla 2014 here. For everything you guys already said, it's a little bit too long, too much human stuff. And you know what? If you're gonna have a lot of human stuff, and you got Elizabeth Olsen on the cast, who I think is totally hot. I love her as Scarlet Witch, Wanda on the Avengers films and whatnot. At least show her more. I don't care about the dude, and all his,
especially in a nightgown.
Yeah. Exactly, right. She's as underutilized in this as Godzilla is, but when he's on screen, he looks great. The fights with the Mutos are pretty cool, but there's just not enough of it for me. But I don't know. But I saw this in the theaters, and I had a good time with it, even though I walked out saying I wanted to see him more. I still dig it. I think they kind of did Godzilla right by this, but it's got its faults as well.
Yeah,
not a horrible movie. I don't think.
Right, not horrible.
Did you guys ever see Gareth Edwards' other movie called Monsters?
Yes, which I thought wasn't bad, but similar.
Awful.
I mean,
Again, where are the
it
monsters
was
on
made
screen?
for like $10 though. So for a $10 movie, I thought it was okay. But it's so similar, Rich, in that it's a giant monster movie, and they show you the giant monster for like a second, and then they cut away.
Yeah. So after I saw that debacle, and then I knew he was directing this Godzilla movie, I was like, oh fuck! I was like, we're in trouble.
Yeah,
and look what happened.
That was his.
Look what
that was
happened.
his secret weapon.
He did the same shit with Godzilla.
But speaking of Elizabeth Olsen, how crazy is it that that Godzilla movie had Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch? Right? They were right. The first, I don't know which one came first, but in one of them they were brother and sister, and then in this movie they're husband and wife.
Yeah, go figure, right?
Yeah. But my next pick should have been amazing, because the villain, I think, I'm going to say it's the greatest looking, the most ferocious looking villain in the 50-year history of Toho films, and it's Godzilla versus Biollante. And man, that one, Biollante, I mean, I can't really see it too well, but look at the size of this thing compared to Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like,
creature too.
I should have brought my toy. I have one of the toys downstairs. It's like the Little Shop of Horrors monster, but on fucking acid. I mean, the thing could swallow Godzilla, and he starts to do it at one point, but he's got hardly any screen time. Yeah. I mean, the first fight, he's got his head is a rose, or her head, which is stupid, and then the last fight, it's this unbelievably frightening looking monster, and it's got 6 minutes of screen time.
I love when he's moving across the screen. Oh, it's like menacing.
Menacing. Yeah. I mean, if I was a kid, I'd be horrified. I mean, the thing opens its mouth, and it's ridiculous because there's all teeth on the roof of its mouth and the tongue. But 6 minutes. Godzilla kills it with the fire breath. Spoiler alert, the movie's only 33 years old. So it should have been great, but they fucked it up.
Yeah, they did.
But it's still good because it's a great design, and the little bit of fighting is really good. So that's why I put it, in the middle.
My next one's 2000. Same thing you said, Chris. You're the one that pulled this out one first, right?
Yep.
Pete, did you mention this one? I don't remember.
Not yet. It's coming.
Not yet. Yeah, Orga's cool. Different design. The hands are ridiculous, but it's fun. Spaceship is awful. That special effect, that thing just stands out like a sore thumb. That just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. And
it just pops right on the screen. Whatever they did with their special effects for that didn't work too well. But when Orga gets on the screen, it's all right. Some good sequences. I enjoy it. Not too bad. That was I saw that in theaters too. That came out in theaters.
Yeah. I remember the theater I saw it, and it was a huge theater, and it was me and my girlfriend at the time and like 6 other people. I was like, oh, this is not going to do well.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of people either when I went. What year was that?
To see it.
Either 99 or 2000, I think.
2000. 90. Well, it says 99, but it's 2000. So maybe it came out in 2000 here, 99 in Japan.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. But Godzilla's on for 22 minutes. He is on screen a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's a great suit.
Oh yeah, it was a really good looking suit.
That's one that carries over into Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
Then Godzilla, Mothra, King Guitra. It's the new suit with the white eyes.
Yep.
But then you're back to a redesign upgrade,
of the other
version for Mechagodzilla and Tokyo SOS again. and then a new suit for Final Wars.
Not needed. Stick to one. Stick to
Yeah.
one. All right, King of the Monsters next for me, 2019. Like I said, I like the film. I hate all the human shit in here. Don't like it at all. But when he's on screen and all the monsters are on screen, Ghidorah looks great in this. I like the kind of little extra scene at the end. I like the fact that it's set up the next film, which we're going to see in about a week. But it's got its issues, right? But I was happy with it because there's a lot of monster screen time, and that's what I wanted. So, but yeah, Chris said it perfectly. The plot of a lot of the film is just absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's come on, guys, Hollywood, if you're listening, it's like, I don't know how you can screw these films up.
Yeah.
It's a monster. It's a giant monster film. We don't want to see all these big time stars and all this convoluted plots that don't make any sense, where the film is centered on the asshole ex-wife and the kid. And who gives a shit, right? Let the monsters fight, right? You can have some
put your
little
money into put your money into the monsters and their screen time and their special effects.
It's like all this other stuff.
And, I think these filmmakers sort of forget the point. In the old days, if you wanted your movie to be shorter so you could get more screenings per day. So, Godzilla movies should never be longer than like 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys thinking?
Yeah. You don't need 2-hour Godzilla movies.
No.
Don't need them.
Unless
an hour of it's going to be monster screen time.
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe one day we'll get one of those. I don't know. I'm not holding my breath, but we'll see.
No, that's true. All right. So my next pick is from 1992, which was originally Godzilla versus Mothra, but now it's Godzilla and Mothra, the battle for the Earth. Right. It's not great. They kind of rip off Raiders of the Lost Ark a whole bunch, but Mothra is not my favorite, but the Batra is kind of cool, and there's some decent fight scenes and destruction, so it's kind of in the middle.
Yep. Good choice. All right, Rich.
All right. Tokyo SOS, the second one, when he fights Mechagodzilla, and Mothra shows up again, but Mothra's in it more this time. It's like a 3-way fight. So the fight scenes are pretty good in this one. I enjoy this one. It's a little bit better than the other one. A little more action going on. So Godzilla's on for 12 minutes. Mechagodzilla's 11. Mothra's on for 7. So it's a pretty good amount of monster screen time. But this is a shorter one. This is 90 minutes.
Right on the money.
Yeah.
So better.
Yeah.
This flows a little bit better, I think.
It's a good one. I enjoy that.
Yeah, that is a pretty good one.
Yeah, and Mechagodzilla looks good too. Not as badass as 74, but I like it better than the 90s version.
Yeah. All right, my one is Godzilla 2000, Godzilla Millennium, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's I got a special place for this one because I did see it in the theaters, and when it came out, took my boy to see it. We geeked out quite a bit. Orca's kind of cool, or Orga, sorry, not Orca, wrong film. And I love
as long as you don't cut this one open and a fucking little baby drops out.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Right.
And I love the way Godzilla looks in this film. I think it's one of my favorite Godzilla suits. He looks completely badass. But I mean, the film is okay. It's not spectacular. It's not awful. It's a middle of the pack Godzilla film. So good to see it in the theaters, though.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
My next one is Godzilla versus Destoroyah. It was the finale for the Heisei series, which this came out in 1995, and they kill it. They kill Godzilla because he kind of melts. Like I always took it like almost like he had cancer, and he's like melting the whole movie, and then at the end he kind of melts away. But they still had the little Godzilla Junior as a backup, which was smart. It's not great. It doesn't suck. It's pretty good. It's in the middle. I thought Destoroyah was kind of a cool design. I was always bummed that the Bandai toy, which I had downstairs, I was too lazy to carry it up here, is not. It's a scale because he's actually like almost the same size or shorter than Godzilla. And I'm like, man, in the movie he was so much bigger and menacing.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad movie, and the ending is kind of sad when Godzilla literally melts.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad, but of course, you know, like we've come to know from this series, you would think maybe they would kind of continue on from that one,
Right, because they
And
built it and they
2000
had
comes out, it's like it's completely
Right.
different. It's like
they
It
had
never
that little Godzilla Junior, they called him right there. That's it.
Yep.
That was your backdoor pilot. Nope.
puzzling stuff.
Yep.
All right, what do you got, Rich?
All right. Going with Mechagodzilla next, or Mechagodzilla. I don't know how you pronounce it actually.
Yeah. It's funny, when I watched it the other day, I kept going, oh, I gotta remember how they say it. And as soon as it ended, I was like, I can't remember how they say it.
Great Godzilla suit. I like the Mechagodzilla. I think it's a dragonfly, right?
I think so.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a dragonfly. So another cool creature design, something different for the Godzilla, monsterverse. So yeah, I enjoy it. I like the way they speed up the camera too, when the dragonfly is moving around and they move the camera around as they're moving their bodies around. So they did some different things camera-wise in this movie. Not bad. I wish, they did something either puppet-wise or special effects-wise with Mechagodzilla to make it really move more like an insect. It kind of does, but it's still very stiff.
Yeah.
Like Kamunga in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, he was mostly in the 60s movies. Like that puppet really moved like a spider, moved really great. But this, it doesn't have that fluent motion like Kamunga had, right? I think it's still stiff and rigid.
I don't think they put the kind of effort and maybe even budget behind making that creature look realistic like they would with
Right.
Mothra. Like Mothra always looks really good in these newer films.
Yeah. So that's the one, the one thing about it. But cool creature, something different. I like different creatures in this universe, because they keep bringing back Mechagodzilla, Mothra, Guitra, Rodan. It's a lot of repeats.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of Mothra, the 1992 film is my next choice. Good looking film, I think. I think Mothra looks spectacular in this movie. I really like. I'm not a huge fan of the creature itself, Mothra, but I think they made her look really good in a lot of these films, and even those couple spin-off Mothra films. I don't know if you guys have seen those.
Oh yeah.
Horrible. They're horrendous.
Oh, the movies are terrible, but Mothra looks.
I was gonna say the designs look good. I remember that Death Guitra.
Yeah.
It looked really, really cool.
Yeah. True.
You
Probably
think
a shit movie,
are
but
stupid, but those
the
horrible.
designs were good. Yeah.
But this was not. It's not terrible. This is pretty good. It doesn't quite live up to the the very first Godzilla and Mothra film, obviously, but it's pretty good. Like I said, it's another good middle of the road film. It's pretty entertaining. Good battles in there. Godzilla's costume is a little weird. He's got a really long neck in this one, which I was never a big fan of. But all in all, pretty good looking film. It's fun.
My next one, Godzilla Megaguirus, for everything you guys already said. It was kind of like the bugs, they're like dragonflies, and it was kind of CGI-ish. But yeah, it's not great. It's not terrible. It's all right.
Yep.
All right. Going with King of the Monsters. I thought it was definitely much better than the 2014 one. King Ghidorah really looks great. I think it really moves like a dragon now. I thought they really put the time and effort into making, Ghidorah look like a three-headed dragon and moving like one. I like when it walks on the wings with the fingers too, on its hands. I thought that was really different too, and made it look more realistic and move more realistic. And the little scuffle between Rodan and Mothra, that wasn't bad. I wish they would have kept it. They should have kept it on that, before Mothra finally got it with its stinger, Rodan, right?
Yep.
Against the building. But you get
I
to see
remember none of
Mothra use
this. And I know I wasn't drunk. I'll
What?
have to see it again.
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
And nothing. I don't remember a thing.
And I like when Mothra comes out of the sky and gets Ghidra's heads with the webbing as well. So there's some, I think, there's some really nice moments and good special effects. Mothra takes one for the team to power up Godzilla a little bit.
Yep.
That's a good scene. So yeah, I liked it. I liked it visually. A little dark though, kind of a little grainy. I wish they would have brightened things up so you could see the monster designs a little better.
Yeah.
I think the best looking one that you see the most is probably Rodan coming out of the volcano.
Yeah.
Flying. I think those sequences and scenes look really sharp.
You bring up a good point about how great Guitra looks in that film. And I think what it comes down to is that the Guitra creature is much better suited to be a CGI monster as opposed to a man in a suit. Because for me, one of the issues I had with Guitra back in the early days is that there were sometimes, they wanted and they presented this monster to be like the be all end all, the most devastating creature on the planet. And just, I don't know, the movements were kind of herky jerky, the way they had the strings with the heads.
Yeah,
and
the heads just, they're kind of all over the place.
Here in this film, in the King of the Monsters, I mean, that looks like you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the dragon, the 3-headed dragon or the 5-headed dragon from Jason and the Argonauts that Ray Harryhausen did way back in the day, right? Remember how like menacing and scary that creature looked? Guitra has those same characteristics in this film. I think this is the best that Guitra has ever looked in any film in the entire Godzilla series. And I think, finally received the treatment that monster really deserves always,
Agreed. And there's even moments where the 3 heads like look at each other too, like react to each other with what's going on around them. Yeah. Very well done.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to give like depth and, expressions back in the old days when, you had the heads were just kind of like puppets and just run by string, and you can't, you could just see them bouncing around. They look like rubber, right? They don't really, the tongue, it just kind of flaps there, and, it's here, it's like, it's more impactful.
Yeah. More realistic.
My next choice is from 2003, Tokyo SOS. It's really interesting. So Tokyo SOS came out in 2003. Final Wars came out in 2004. Just look at the difference between the two Godzilla suits here.
Yeah.
It looks phenomenal in SOS, and then they use this horrible one for Final Wars.
Yeah, the 2004 one looks terrible. It's
like
every time I see,
almost like
you know what it reminds
face.
me of? It reminds me of like a comic book drawing.
Looks like Oscar from the Sesame Street.
Oh yeah, it's just terrible. It's terrible.
At least the proportions, though, from the shoulders down, are good. He's not too bulky. And I think he's proportioned pretty well. It's just the head, I think, that's throwing us off.
But I mean, this from SOS looks phenomenal.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know, but SOS is a fun film. I mean, it's got a couple of monsters we love. Mechagodzilla is pretty badass. Mothra looks great. You got Larva Mothra. I mean, it's a lot of good destruction and fight scenes. I like it. It's a tighter storyline too than that Final Wars mess. But so it's fun. I like it.
That was absolutely my next pick. Tokyo SOS for everything you said, Pete. It's fun. It's great. It's it's not great, but it's fun and entertaining. Suit looks good. So I definitely enjoyed it.
All right, going with Biollante next from '89, which was one of the movies that was a sequel in the series. It's a sequel to '84. Biollante's cool, different, unique creature. I wish we got to see it a little bit more. I do like a few of the scenes though when they move the tentacles, I guess you could say, or the vines.
Yeah.
That are attacking Godzilla, and the couple go through his hands.
Oh yeah.
You get to see the close-up of Godzilla's face, and he reacts to the thing going through his hand, and he looks at it. There's a lot of those kind of scenes that are close-ups. Yep. Yeah, and the roar is really good in this. So
Biollante kind of vomits sort of acid on Godzilla at one point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. That's why I like this too, is because in these movies from the 90s and the Millennium, do you notice that all the monsters have firepower? Everybody's got a beam or a laser or plasma or shooting some shit out of them somewhere.
Yep.
This,
stuff coming out of their body.
Like Biollante because it's got a natural organic defense. Unlike these other monsters. I mean, come on, Mothra and Batra are shooting beams out of their antenna.
Yeah,
really?
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
You should have given them natural defenses. Sorry, that's why I like Biollante, because he has that, or she has that. Yeah. Spitting out the venom or whatever that is out of its mouth.
Right.
If they would have done that with, Mothra, who else? Mechagodzilla, which doesn't really have any
I don't think so.
powers, right? It just uses its body and its tail and everything. So I like it when they go for more organic, natural defenses instead of everybody having these ridiculous firepower things.
Or rays or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, my next choice is Godzilla against Mechagodzilla 2002. This guy over here. Pretty cool film. Got a little bit of a different look to the suit for Mechagodzilla, but a fun film. Again, not as action packed as the Mechagodzilla films from the past, but still pretty good. I kind of like this movie a lot. And I don't know, Mechagodzilla always seems to wind up in pretty decent films.
Yes.
Regardless of which series we're talking about here.
You're 100% right.
I think if you were to stack up all of the other monsters besides Godzilla and look at all their appearances, maybe Mothra, but I think Mechagodzilla probably the most successful.
That's the best record. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a good film. I like it. Pretty good story too. It's you got a good amount of screen time. I dig it.
Definitely. And that's actually my next pick as well. Godzilla against Mechagodzilla for everything that you said, Pete. And it's funny, when I was watching this last Saturday, I thought the same thing. I go, yeah, God damn it, Pete's right. Like when Godzilla is in it, I don't know what it is, but it's a good movie. And yeah, this one was fun. A lot of good destruction, good fighting. Mechagodzilla has all the cool rockets and guns on his back and
a lot of them in
bazookas and whatever else, man. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, he's got this arsenal of weapons in this one.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I really like the one from the 70s though, the way the wrist rotates and
Yes.
then all the fingers shoot out. That was really cool. Yeah. All right, next one. I'm gonna go with Godzilla and Mothra, the Battle for Earth. It's on that 2-movie set. Did they ever release these independently? Do you guys know?
No, I do not believe so.
Yeah,
But it's funny that you say that, because I was thinking that the other day, and then I was like, well, if you open it up, right, it actually has the other cover.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was like, well, if I get extra blank cases and you just copy the inside, you could separate them all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I never even noticed that. Wow.
Yeah, never thought of that one.
I just thought of it the other day.
And they're all like
These
this,
are-
I guess, right?
These are widescreen, if I remember correct. Yeah, they're
Yes.
wide.
Yep.
I will say these Blu-rays look pretty damn good.
They do.
Yeah, they do. For the 90s, especially. This is 92. So I like Batra, but it's again, it's a caterpillar, and you got Mothra, that's a larva. So how much can they possibly do?
Yeah.
Even but at least the wing versions of both of them, they do move their wings more, so they're a little more mobile in this, which works better. Sometimes they don't flap their wings a lot, and they're just gliding around all over the place. But they have a little more mobility in this one, I think. But I don't like the beams come out of their eyes. I like it better when Mothra does the what's the defense in this one? The particles or something comes off of her.
Oh yeah.
Scales come off of her wings, I think it is.
The fairy dust. It's like a fairy
dust. Yep.
Something like that. Yeah, so that's a little, more natural. I'd rather see the monsters do that kind of stuff, like I said, instead of everybody having beams and fire and electricity and whatever else you're doing. It's a little too easy, Yeah,
the old fashioned punching from guys and whoever else.
Yeah, get in there. Let's just hand to hand combat. Let's do it that way,
Right.
All right. Let's see. Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, giant monsters, all out attack. Of course, Baragon doesn't even get his name in the title, and should. I can tell you, when this came out, I was so happy to see him in another movie. I was he doesn't last too long, but he looks great, doesn't he?
Yes.
He's another. You guys know he's another one of my favorites with Varan, Baragon, and Anguirus.
Yep. Yeah, Baragon's awesome. He's kind of cool, but he puts up a good fight early on.
Yeah.
But this is a good film. Good battle scenes. Interesting how Ghidorah looks a little different in this film. He's got the shorter, stubbier necks.
Yeah.
I actually have a little Bandai figure taken from this film, which is pretty cool. In fact, I think I have all the figures from this film, because I have the Baragon that came out after this film, and I have the Mothra from this one. But all the creatures look really good. A lot of good fight scenes. I just wish they all kind of stuck around till the end and ganged up on Mr. Ghidorah, or Mrs. Ghidorah, whatever the hell,
right,
male or female. But yeah, I like this. This is one of the better ones in this series, I think.
Did you guys know that Baragon, Varan, and Anguirus were actually supposed to be the original Guardian monsters in the movie? And they changed the script.
Wow.
Yeah, my boy was supposed to make a return, and
Damn
they
it.
cut him again.
Robbed
He
again.
again, he gets the fucking shaft. What the hell?
Like
So
Rodney
him and
Dangerfield,
Gears
no
and
respect.
Baragon.
No respect.
What's that, Chris?
Like Rodney Dangerfield, no respect.
No respect. I hate it. It's terrible. But the three of them were supposed to be the guardian monsters in this, and I wish they did.
Interesting.
Instead of Guitra and Mothra again for the umpteenth time.
Right.
Well, it's all about, ratings and money, right? Who's going
Right.
to draw more, Baragon and Varin and Anguirus, or King Ghidra and
It's
Mothra?
true.
Well, I
I
hope
agree
when they
with you.
reboot when they reboot the universe again for the next era of movies, I hope the three of them finally get some love and respect, and because I think they're very underrated, underutilized, and very underappreciated.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see Kong fight King Caesar. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's another one.
I keep saying they should do a three-way dance: King versus King versus King. King Kong versus the King of the Monsters, Godzilla versus King Ghidra.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Maybe we'll see an appearance from Ghidra in this film. Who knows? I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Who's next? I don't even know where we left off.
Chris, I think, right?
Am I up? Okay. My next is Return of Godzilla, aka Godzilla in 1984, aka Godzilla 1985. This is the bootleg DVD I have. I actually watched the Japanese version, so I didn't see Raymond Burr the other day when I rewatched it, and I was like, wow, I really don't like when they do the Godzilla movies when it's just the one monster, but I thought this one really worked. It's very dark. One of you guys said very apocalyptic. It's really not played for jokes at all. I think the suit looks great. So I really like that one when I watched it when I rewatched it the other day. And I've seen Godzilla 85 many times, but I haven't seen Godzilla 84 too often, which, like I said, cuts out none of the Raymond Burr stuff, and it's similar. You said it, Pete. It's very similar to the 1954 with the destruction and the body count and all that other stuff. But I thought it was pretty good.
I can't believe they actually went to go put Raymond Burr back in a film again.
Right. But again, it's perfect if you think about if they're trying to recreate the 54 movie. Well, we put Raymond Burr in the US version back then. He's not doing anything. Let's put him in the new one.
Around. Let's do it again, right?
But let's add Dr. Pepper's in every scene. It's crazy. But now that Blu-ray that you guys have, does that have both versions or just the US version?
I think it's only got one version.
Yeah. Oh no,
Yeah,
wait.
but
It's got the Japanese version too.
Oh, it does. Okay, all right.
Oh yeah, the uncut and uncensored original epic.
I don't know how I missed that one. I'll have to grab it.
Yeah, I mean, if I've had it for a while, Chris, you should still be able to get it.
Okay, you'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it's on Kraken Releasing is the company. So. All right, Rich, what do you got?
All right, next one from '91, Godzilla vs. King Ghidra. This one, the special effects I think are very good. Ghidra looks great. Necks move a little bit better. Flies a little bit better. Wings move a little bit more. And the Mechagodzilla is okay. I really like when it's regular Ghidra better than instead of them turning it into a mecha. I'm really tired of Toho turning everybody into robots or mechas.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's overdone, But yeah, visually it looks cool. The fights are good. How long are these guys on? Godzilla's on for 14 minutes and Ghidra's on for 6 minutes. The only thing I don't like is those things called the door rats. Those little.
But those things were so cute. I totally want one.
Those little puppet Ghidras.
Right.
I don't even remember what their purpose was. That was stupid. But other than that, I like the movie. I like the way they go in the past and you see Godzilla as Godzillasaurus.
Right.
Oh
It
yeah.
was a dinosaur, so that was cool too.
Yeah.
A little bit of an origin there. That was good. But yeah, cool.
All right, Mechagodzilla 2 from '93. Good film. Good to see Rodan back. Good suit from Mechagodzilla. Good homage to the '70s Mechagodzilla suit. It would change quite a bit in the films going forward, but good battles in here. A lot of destruction, a lot of fire. I like that Rodan's back. Like I said, a lot of destroyed planes and shit in here. This is a good one. Again, one of the other like upper echelon Mechagodzilla films for me. And this one, what did I say? It's from '93, right? So pretty early in the Heisei, whatever it is series.
What? Let me see that DVD you have. What did that come with?
Space Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
And you know what's weird?
Because I got the one. Oh, you got the Blu-ray. That's right. Because I got the one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say when they released these on
Destoroyah.
DVD, they had different combinations. And then when the
Yeah.
Blu-rays came out, they mixed them up.
Yeah.
Again, no continuity.
Nope,
Even
it's
when
true.
they release them on different media.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, my next pick, I saw this one in the theater. I saw the US premiere, and it was literally like me and 10 people. GMK, Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant All Monsters Attack. This is definitely one of my biggest film regrets. They did a Godzilla film series in New York City, and it went on for like 3 weeks, where they ran 35 millimeter film prints of every Godzilla movie. And I should have went and lived in New York City for 3 weeks and saw everything. But I only went to the one night to see the new premiere. I mean, it's not always so easy, as you guys know, to get in and out of Manhattan. And I thought the movie was awesome then. I think it's awesome now. It is by far the most brutal and vicious, like downright vicious fucking Godzilla movie that has ever been made. I mean, they go out of their way to show you like a family in a house doing whatever, playing fucking like volleyball or whatever, and then it cuts to Godzilla's foot crushing the house and killing everybody. They show a husband and wife like taking pictures, and it cuts to Godzilla knocking a mountain down and fucking crushing them. They show you. It's just they keep doing it over and over again. It's like, wow, this movie's really fucking brutal.
Yeah,
Which was that scene's an homage to the original one, if I'm right, correct? When he's looking over the hillside.
Yeah,
could be. I don't. It's been. I don't.
Yeah.
I think you guys are right. But yeah, they go out of they do it like 3 or 4 times. Where they show some nameless humans, and then boom, Godzilla kills them all. So it's really brutal, but I liked it. I definitely liked it. I liked the even the Godzilla with the white pupils looks crazy.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't make sense how they changed the suit and then went back to the previous suit, but overall, I really like it.
I agree. It's a good one.
Right. I don't have the box here with me. The Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 from '93. I'm going to go with that one next. So Godzilla's on screen a lot in this. All the monsters are. Mechagodzilla's 13 minutes. Rodan's 10. Godzilla's on for 27 minutes.
That's
So a lot of
pretty epic for one of these films, right?
Yes, I really like the poster too. I'm actually looking at the original poster with Rodan holding the egg, and then you got Mechagodzilla in the background. Really big. So yeah, nice poster art. I like the action in this. The Mechagodzilla design's okay, not my favorite. I prefer the Millenium better, and I think 74 is the most badass.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens in Godzilla versus. We'll see what happens in Godzilla versus Kong. I don't know if it's going to be able to beat that. I think 74 is still going to be my favorite.
We'll see.
This movie's where you get also Fire Rodan. Remember that?
Yeah.
What I was talking about before. Too much with everybody getting special powers and breathing fire and electricity and whatever else. So aside from that, though, yeah, there's a lot of action. It's a lot of fun. A lot of monster screen time. So that's why it's in my because we're in the top 3 now. So this is my top 3.
Yep. Yeah, I got my Fire Rodan figure over there somewhere. Little Bandai. I got a lot of Bandai stuff. I love those.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, 1991. Yeah, it's a good one. A lot of good fight scenes. Yeah, I'm kind of like iffy on the Mecha King Ghidorah. I can kind of see why they would go there. But yeah, like you guys already said, it's just a lot of fun, a lot of good fight scenes, a lot of destruction in this movie. It's like almost like if you're gonna bring King Ghidorah into a film with Godzilla, you got to amp up the miniatures and just destroy everything in sight, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, this is a good one. I like this one a lot. So it's one of my.
That's
favorites.
another one that's like Biollante, where you got a lot of good close-ups of Godzilla's face and reaction shots too.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I really enjoy.
Suits look really good too. I think even Ghidorah looks good even before they put all the plates on her and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep. That's my next pick. Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, and everything that you guys said. I actually like the Mecha Ghidorah. I thought it was cool. One of the heads was like metal, and they gave him metal wings and a metal bodysuit. Right. And that one I definitely like, and I do really like the story, even though they kind of stole everything from Terminator, the whole time travel thing. Like Rich mentioned the Dorats, which I thought really worked. I mean, they were a little too cutesy looking, but the gimmick was they were these three little Ghidras, but they only had one head, so then the alien invaders from the future, they left them on the planet. They took Godzilla away from 1954 or whatever it was, 1944, so he didn't get nuked. So they took him out, but then they left these three baby things so that they would get nuked and they would form Ghidra. So I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it's total comic book stuff, but I liked it, and I thought it was a really, really good movie. I thought it's my second favorite, obviously, of the bunch.
Yeah, cool.
All right, going with giant monsters all out attack, Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. And my boy does not get his name in the title.
Nope.
So disrespectful.
That's a shaft. If you're gonna have him in there, man.
Why? He doesn't get his name in his title. Varan doesn't get out of the black and white age. Anguirus always gets kicked around like a kickball. I'm like, what's going on with my boys?
It's tough,
right?
It's tough.
I think if the three of them were in this movie, like the original script, they probably would have done pretty well. Probably would be pretty cool. But still, I really like it. I'm glad Baragon's in it. 16 minutes of Godzilla screen time, 6 minutes of Ghidra, 4 minutes of Baragon. Godzilla looks great. I like the white eyes.
Yeah.
Very, very scary looking in this movie. Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
It's a good one.
I like the Guardian Monsters concept. It's cool.
Yeah, that was a kind of a neat twist, right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
yeah. All right, my number two. Rank this one pretty high because I love the other creatures so much, and I think whenever he or she is on screen, I think it's just breathtaking. Godzilla versus Biollante. I love the Biollante creature. I mean, towards the end of the movie, when it's fully realized, I mean, holy crap, you just want to see more. But I think this is a pretty good film, though. And I think the fight scenes are great. You guys mentioned when those little pincer tentacles thing goes through Godzilla's hand. I mean, there's a couple points in this film where you think Godzilla's going to bite it. I mean, big time. It's like, this Biollante creature's got Godzilla's number, right? But then all of a sudden, Godzilla just, and then that's it, done.
Because it's a plan, I guess. How strong could it possibly be?
Yeah, exactly. But I love the kind of, early on, you have this kind of like little pod rose type of thing, and you hear the little, noise that it makes or whatever. And then all of a sudden you get this just ridiculously huge creature with almost like this giant alligator mouth, right? And all these tentacles. I mean, just absolutely amazing creature. But not a bad film. I mean, I like it. I think it's fun. I've watched it numerous times. It's definitely a good one.
Yep, my favorite one.
One of the better stories. Some of them, like we've been saying, are a little ridiculous and stuff. Yeah. These movies that we're getting, the ones like from like our top 5 coming up, the stories are a little bit better, a little more mature too.
Yeah.
Biollante was good. They took the cells of Godzilla and a plant and something with something from a girl was all I remember, like cells from a girl. No, that was good. But yeah, my favorite of these two series is Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2, which at the time was just called Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. They put the 2 for home video, but just total monster action and destruction, and a lot of stuff blowing up. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, that's what we're all here for.
Guys in rubber suits knocking stuff over and blowing shit up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my favorite of the bunch. My favorite of the bunch of the always used to be Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. But then when rewatching everything, I was like, I think that Mechagodzilla 2, I think it has it, man. It's just, Got so much action, so much destruction. So it's the one when rewatching them all the last 2 weekends. That was the one I liked the best.
Cool.
All right, my favorite is Destroyer. Even though Destroyer, again, like I said about Space Godzilla, it's basically a Godzilla, just altered.
Yeah.
Right? Destroyer is very similar to Godzilla, design-wise. But I think it's really cool when it's on the, what is the word? A crustacean? The crab version, I guess? Lobster version? Crab lobster version?
I'd eat them.
I like that. I really like that form. I wish they would have kept that, made it, a little bit bigger, and that could have fought Godzilla. But even though when it's standing on 2 legs, I know they put in 2 legs because then you could put somebody in the suit, right? So that's probably why they did it. It made more sense doing it that way. But even in that form, with the bat wings and the face and the clawed hands, it's really a cool looking monster, even when it's standing up. Yeah. And I like the way Godzilla Jr.'s in it. And unfortunately, Godzilla Jr., gets banged up. And you can actually see when Godzilla, looks down at it and he thinks it's dead. But actually, I think it does die, right?
Yeah, they bring it back.
Yes.
Yeah. So when Godzilla melts down, he absorbs his energy, life force, brings him back. But even Godzilla, you could see the pain, the pain in his face, and he does the roar when that happens. So that's a nice scene too. And then he, goes through the meltdown throughout the whole movie.
All these movies, we've still never seen Mrs. Godzilla though.
She's got to be out there somewhere, right? That's
Godzilla.
Somebody keeps shitting out all these baby Godzillas.
Godzilla lays eggs, right? Like in Son of Godzilla. So
I don't think he's the one laying them.
I don't know who's laying them. I don't know how these creatures are getting birthed. They never explain.
Right? What are the reptiles, the lizards that actually? There's animals that actually can reproduce themselves. Which ones are those? I don't know if it's a lizard or something.
I couldn't tell you.
There's
You
some
want to
living
talk
creatures
1986 7-star record? I'm in. You want to talk asexual reptile production? Ask somebody else. I couldn't tell you.
Somebody put it in the comments. What's the lizard that I'm thinking of? There's some living animals. There's a couple of them that can do that. And I guess, look, Godzilla is made up of, creation of nuclear energy, the bomb. So he can do anything, right?
I guess, yeah.
So he can lay his
excuse Toho has, right? Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, he had a baby in that movie.
True.
Somehow. I don't know.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, Godzilla versus Destoroyah is my favorite as well. I'm a big fan. I've watched this movie so many times. I love, it's the fights are brutal in this. I mean, those two go back, and I love how they go back and forth throughout the movie. Like one wins one mini battle, then the other wins the next one, back and forth, and all throughout the whole thing. Godzilla is like smoking and smoldering, right? The ready for a meltdown, and they're kind of like timing when Godzilla's gonna. The humans are like,
that was funny.
Meltdown.
They're like 10 minutes. How the fuck do you guys know?
Exactly. Where they got some thermometer up his butt or something like that. They know.
What is he? He's in a microwave like a thing of popcorn.
And there's
Be
also
ready in 8 minutes.
There's a scene too where Godzilla Jr. fights the crab version of Destroyer 2, which is good.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, the fight scenes are great in this. Really good. And I find the ending very touching. And
it's sad. It's definitely sad.
When I first saw this, when it first came out, again, I've been watching Godzilla movies since I was a kid. I cried. I was just kind of like, no, you can't kill Godzilla off. And then at the end, baby Godzilla or Godzilla Jr. back to life. And you're like, all right, cool. Can't wait for the next movie. And then the next movie comes out and it's like, oh, and I'm like,
get it.
Man, you went through all that for nothing. But it's a cool visual, and the Godzilla meltdown is a pretty cool scene.
Yeah,
You hate to see it.
It stays with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty. It is not a happy film at all. It's a pretty dark, depressing, and action-packed film, but I love it for it. And I think the Destroyer creature looks great too. And I like how he evolves throughout the film, and he's enormous at the end, right? But yeah, good stuff. And when they fight, like that final fight sequence, man, they level everything in that poor city, right?
Yeah.
Tokyo is like
they got a rough.
They got to rebuild
every year, right? And you look, oh, Tokyo, they got it all back up. All the buildings are back up again. It's like, well,
they move quick.
So there you have it, everybody. Ranking all the newer Godzilla films. So we got Heisei, Millennium, whatever all the other ones are called. You got all of them here. The only one we did not rank is that stupid US Godzilla film.
98.
Whatever year that
Yep.
was,
And
98.
the abomination that it was.
Yeah. So we decided we're not even going to talk about that because that really is not a Godzilla film. That's,
Right.
I don't know what that is, but not good at all. Not even worth expending energy on. So, so what do you think? Favorite Godzilla film of all time?
I'm not going to spend the next 2 weekends watching all the James Bond movies. I'm just letting you know.
I won't ask you to. That's all right.
I mean, I like Godzilla.
How many James Bonds are there? About 30?
But gotta be. I don't know who's got more, Godzilla or James Bond, but that's the biggest franchise that popped in my head.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
So between all of these series here, could you guys pick a favorite Godzilla film of all time?
Yeah, I think I'd go with Godzilla, the original Godzilla versus Mothra, and then right under it, the original King Kong versus Godzilla be my top two.
Yeah, maybe King Kong versus Godzilla and maybe the original black and white Godzilla still. Because that's the first one I got introduced to when I was a kid that my father, when I was walking by the TV and he was like, hey, check this out. A giant dinosaur that could breathe fire destroying a city. I was like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, I'd probably still go with the original Japanese Godzilla film. But yeah, King Kong versus Godzilla. I love that a lot still. I love Destroyer. I love the Godzilla versus the Thing or Godzilla versus Mothra. I mean, some really good ones here. You know? And some crap. But
Some crappers, yeah.
to be expected. So I want to thank Chris and Rich for putting in all the extra hours getting ready for this. We've been doing nothing but Godzilla for a couple weeks now, and we're looking forward to the Godzilla versus Kong coming out. He's got his
Absolutely.
Ready
Rich
for
has
the
got his
movie
ticket.
next week. I'll be there 4 in the afternoon. So
this is my ticket to just go down the hall.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
I was gonna say I got my blanket already. Right on that couch.
I think I will actually stay up late and watch it on Wednesday. I got to make sure I got no programming Wednesday night so I can watch that because I'm not waiting until Friday.
Nice.
I'm watching it Wednesday. So everybody coming up next week, we got another cool one for you next week. So Dan Brown is joining the fun and we're going to rank our 5 favorite John Carpenter films coming up next week. So it's got a lot to choose from, but we're going to just pick our 5 favorites. Each of us are going to do that. So that's coming up next week. And then the following week, we have another surprise for you. We have, looks like a couple special guests joining us on a big discussion about a couple cool films. So we'll divulge more information as we get all that finalized, but lots coming on the Monsters Den, so stay tuned. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube.
All damn time.
So, for Rich Catino and Chris Alo, good night, everybody.
thanks, guys.
Tell us your favorite Godzilla films from this series down below, and we'll see you real soon. Take care.